called out live on Fox News.
America deserved 9/11, dude. It. I'm saying it. It will inevitably turn Israel into a nation that is entirely comprised of messianic, inbred, ultra-Orthodox psychopaths with a nuclear arsenal.
Guys, this was broadcast on all of cable television. It's actually happening. We just jumped forward one massive leap of Hasan Piker actually being deplatformed and deported and depantsed for the spanking that America needs to give him.
Mao Zedong is one of the great leaders of this world, I find.
Yes, he said Mao Zedong, a man who killed 5 times more people than Hitler did, a great man. I want to remind you, he also insulted people for being inbred when his parents are first cousins. So, a little bit interesting.
Finally framed the Cutie Cinderella newspaper from 9/11, the morning of 9/12, the newspaper right there.
That is controversial, and far-left streamer Hasan Piker, who has built a platform on anti-American, anti-Israel rhetoric, and has amassed a massive following in doing so. But who is Hasan Piker, and how did he get so much influence? Let's take a look. Hasan Piker is born...
He is a streamer created in a lab in Palestine. He is a streamer created in the communist labs of China, put on to this country as a virus, astroturfed, just like the rest of his stupid family, to push anti-American, anti-natalist propaganda to everyone. But unfortunately for him, people are getting more informed day by day and realize that this man is a massive piece of shit. Rumor has it, he also abuses dogs.
In New Jersey to Turkish parents, but raised in Istanbul. He has family ties. Yep. You'll recognize this guy. He entered political media as the Young Turks co-founder's nephew. That's Cenk Uygur, who you remember very much following in the footsteps.
Fun fact about Cenk Uygur, he believes that bestiality should be legal, as well as he goes to the beach to watch underage children. That's a quote, by the way. Little bit weird. Allegedly, he's just a little bit weird.
Hasan Piker starts building an online empire, turning his daily stream that everybody from Ro Khanna to Abdul El-Sayed wants to be on, AOC, and he turned these live streams into an audience of 10 million followers, part of why he is so front and center as a voice of young...
You want to know why people like Hasan Piker? Because they failed America. They are useless members of society that couldn't make it, wake up and actually do the fucking work. So rather than blame the country, or rather than blame themselves for the mistakes they made, they like to blame the country and blame America why they're failures. When in reality, they can look in the mirror and find out why they failed, because they're fucking retarded.
Democrats, his political access with major progressive stars appear on his show. They're literally like, it's like Joe Rogan trying to get on his show if you are a far left progressive Democrat. His radical record, though, cannot be denied. He's called religious Jews inbred, defended Hamas, continues to do that, and apologized after saying that America deserved 9/11. In the latest firestorm, addressed college Democrats in a Mao-style suit. Look at that. And it's interesting, guys, because just think the list of pro-America...
I want you to imagine if I went live wearing Hitler's garb. This guy, and I believe that Mao Zedong did a worse travesty to the world than Hitler. This guy went live on a podium dressed and cosplaying as Mao Zedong and tore down America. Are we not understanding that this guy is out of his fucking mind? And Twitch is gladly platforming this man, by the way.
Conservative speakers that have been booted from college campuses across the country is too long to list. It would take a half an hour to lay them out. And yet here, college Democrats want this highly controversial anti-American, anti-Semitic person to address them.
Bro, I actually might start watching Fox News now that they're actually talking about shit that I give a fuck about. This is crazy. Bro, we're actually seeing this shit in real time. The old boomers are catching the fuck up to what we all knew 2 years ago. This is incredible.
Well, so how did Hasan Piker become a leading voice for young liberals? Well, our next guest is a young Democrat who's calling on his generation for platforming Piker. He says that it is reprehensible. He's also the president of Young Democrats of Massachusetts. Jack Perenick joins us now. Jack
Mehoff, go ahead, take it away.
Welcome to the show. So you say that Young Democrats should be careful about, as you call it, platforming Hasan Piker, inviting him to universities. Why do you say that? Or should we have more open discussion and on both sides? Or you're saying he shouldn't be allowed on campus?
Well, I totally believe in going places where you have to talk to people that don't necessarily think the way that you do.
Sure.
You know, that's why I'm here on Fox News this morning.
Very fair.
But I think the most important thing to understand about Hasan Piker is that he is someone who is just totally reprehensible, but he does have this large following. And I think one of the most important things that Democrats can do, go out there, talk to his followers, talk to the people who are disaffected with both parties and are listening to him. But platforming him, I think, was something that was almost immediately met with severe backlash.
Why do you think he's popular, Jack?
There's a lot of people right now who don't feel comfortable embracing either party establishment, and we see that on the left and the right. I think Hasan Piker sounds a lot more like radical figures on the right, like Nick Fuentes, than he does like a lot of Democrats. And I think he said it best himself. You know, he came to this convention to speak and used half of his time defending why almost everyone hates him, and the other half of his time attacking the Democratic Party. And I think that that's, you know, the kind of
the world's most insecure man, they're calling him.
Speech that isn't helpful to the Democrats, but it is helpful to get an even larger number of people disaffected. But I think that the desire to go out and reach out to the people who are listening to him right now is a good one. And the college Dems, if they continue that approach of talking to people who are very skeptical of the Democratic Party, are on a good path to regain more supporters.
Well, you know, Jack, first of all, we are grateful to you for coming on and talking about this, and we appreciate your willingness to engage. It's a very important part of our country. And I get what you're saying about how there are a lot of people in the world who feel disaffected. But this guy talks about very specific things. What is it that from, you know, a lot of young people, obviously.
This started so strong, and this is why people don't take the news seriously, because they don't get to the fucking point. This is such a easy black and white case. And they're fucking rambling about. This is so obvious. Just Hasan is a absolute piece of shit. He's platformed by hundreds of thousands of people because he likes to push propaganda against America and promote other countries because people hate America. It's really that easy. He has followers because people hate America because it's the greatest country on earth, and these insecure fucks want to feel better about the shitholes they come from. It's really that easy. Just lay it out. Lay it out. It's not hard.
What is it that draws people to the specific things that Hasan Piker talks about that we all find so repellent?
Yeah, I mean, I think so many people have lost faith in the ability of the American political system to affect change that his calls for a revolution become appealing because people feel that that's the only way. And I think that this goes to the need for Democrats to really show that they're delivering. But I think, you know, Hasan in particular, part of the reason why he's just such an awful...
I find it ridiculous because it's not just Hasan saying this shit. They're actually making Hasan look better than what he actually is. And that is insane to me, where somehow Fox News is making him look better. And that's what's embarrassing as fuck. He is an anti-American piece of shit. He does not want America to get better. He wants senseless violence. He is promoting for the murder of government senators. He is not pushing for change. He is pushing for psychotic freaks to take justice into their own hands and murder people who disagree with them.
Speaker and a messenger for this voice, you know, particularly for college Democrats. One of the things I heard a lot about there was his objection to, you know, this is someone who thinks date rape on college campuses is hilarious and something to be joked about. And it was...
There you go. Nice. Great fucking quote, white guy. Good job, Jack.
Message that particularly to young people, you know, it was really helpful to so many of the people who didn't know who he was before. You know, seeing him come out dressed as Mao was really helpful to a lot of people to know that this was not someone serious that was there to talk. And it was, you know, people streamed out of the room. You can't see it in that shot there, but the people streamed out of the room so much so they had to close the doors to the auditorium to stop the mass departure. Four whole state delegations walked out in their entirety. And it was funny that, you know, congressional candidates in our plus 30 districts got 10 times the applause that he did because people kind of know that he's a hackster, not to be taken seriously.
But does that matter?
I want to remind you, people tried to leave when Hasan came on stage, and they denied people the ability to vacate the premises. I'm quite positive that is illegal.
The fact that he is a fraud, does that matter if you've got millions of people who are listening to him and following him?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You have to go out and talk to the people who think that, right now there is no hope in the Democratic Party. So they're looking for figures like Piker who are talking about the, ability to affect broad change. I think the reality is, though, that there could not be anyone less politically influenceable right now. And it's funny, even in, I've talked to a lot of people. I called his comments reprehensible. A friend of mine reminded me that Zoran Mondami said the same thing about his comments, and I really think that he's, been a very successful person in uniting the Democratic Party against his anti-Semitic and hateful comments.
Well, and Jack, as you mentioned, he said in his speech to the Democrats, college Democrats, that he is coming for the establishment, and with such a following, as Charlie points out, we'll see where this goes. Jack Perenick, thank you for joining us. We want to have you.
These guys did such a joke of a job of explaining the dangers and how retarded this man is. When you say things like he's coming for the establishment, you are going to rally people behind him. He is not going for any positive change. He wants men to be able to chop off their dicks and be proud of it. He wants people to be able to publicly endorse terrorist organizations. Fox News, you completely fucking blundered, and it's just embarrassing. I'm glad mainstream appeal is now covering Hasan Piker and talking about this, but we need to get some people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about on the air and not these fucking jokesters who are talking out of their ass. You had the quotes, you had the references, and you biffed it. It is black and white. It doesn't need discussion. It needs statement of fact. You can see exactly what type of person this piece of shit is if you merely consume his content for 5 minutes. Hey, Fox News, hit me up anytime. I would love to fly in and talk about it.